Alright, cool. It's going to be our first video. It's going to be a little bit awkward because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But if I make more of them, it will get better with time. So anyway, let's get straight to it. So it's currently July 2020, and we're with 5 months now into a pandemic. And other than scouring through the countless pages of Indeed trying to find a job that doesn't involve wiping some old person's shitty arsehole, I've been trying to make myself useful, so I thought I'd be the manager of Manchester United. And I actually managed to get them second place in the Premier League. Now, I don't know about you, but that's quite the achievement, even if it is just a video game. And I know some of you might be calling that sad, but listen up, it's a lot happier than my other favourite hobby of sleeping 17 hours a day to try and forget about my inescapable crippling depression. But hey, can you blame me? At least in my dreams I don't have to shit myself every time I hear someone coughing. Or that whole pandemic thing is going to be another topic for another rainy day. But just like most other single lads right now, my left hand has been my best friend, and I actually think over the past few months I've completed Pornhub. And yes, that does include the midget porn section. So it's time for us to broaden the horizons a little bit, leave the bird's nest that we'd been living in, actually see what else is out there. Despite the fact that it's 2020 and ad blocker does exist, every website still has that feature where you press play on a video and 5,000 unwanted pop-ups pop up. Except this time there wasn't entirely unwanted. Nah. Upon closer look, this was like the holy grail of pop-ups. And this is where I introduce you to Debt4K. Now quickly before we go into it, the best way I can describe this website is maybe imagine the shows Can't Pay Will Take It Away and Fake Taxi having long passionate sex and then giving birth to a new little porn site. Probably could have worded that one a little bit better. Sounds a little bit fucking creepy, but we'll roll with it. And when I was thinking about making this video, I didn't actually think how practical it'd be, because obviously I'm going to have to censor half of it. It's a porn site, so obviously you're going to be greeted to a big fucking dick as soon as you go on there. But also, it seems to have a little bit extra to it. Like these screenshots on the left, they genuinely look like something from an episode of EastEnders. You can tell straight away that this is a dog's bollocks. They've actually put effort into it. So if we scroll a little bit further down past the logo, it appears straight away that most of these videos are labelled as episodes, with each one of them giving us background information about each protagonist in debt, or as this website likes to call it, credit record. So here we have episode 1 featuring Jessica Red. And it don't really take a genius to work out that Jessica over here is pregnant. So what we can see here is Jessica Red is 27, she's on maternity leave, and she's $2,000 in debt for buying children's things. Now I don't really know how much baby stuff costs because I don't really ever plan on having a little Satan spawn. But to me that just screams that she's going to dress it up in a Gucci set and make it look like a twat from the day it's born. She'll probably also call it Kane while she's at it. It also says she's 4 months overdue, but luckily they're on about the debt and not the baby. So a little bit further down from that, past all the pictures of Jessica with her legs spread looking like she's giving birth, and we can see that it's got a description which is meant to paint a greater picture, It's like marinating your chicken before eating it. But let me clear my throat before we read this bit. I was already a few meters from our house when suddenly I noticed a woman with a big belly walking along the street. She carried some bags looking around suspiciously. I immediately realised, this is my client. She opened the front door and entered the house. Well, that means she cannot pretend that nobody's home. I rang the doorbell persistently, and after a while, it opened. The same pregnant lady was standing on the threshold. Good afternoon, I'm the bank agent. I came to collect your debts. She clearly wasn't glad to see me. Jessica tried to agree on a postponement, but all the deadlines had already passed and it was impossible. I have one immodest offer for you. I will agree on a respite from my boss, but I really want to fuck you. I have never had sex with a pregnant lady, and I am wildly excited about your sweet belly. What did she decide? Well, judging by all these pictures I've had to censor, it's quite clear what she decided. Nah, nothing like, I have a friend that I can call that will give me some money to, pay off some of the debt. Can we do it in installments? Oh, is there anything I can do? Here, take my iPhone. Nah, instead, Jessica let this guy's penis meet the red. And probably her unborn child if he was big enough. That's right, just like the average person would, Jessica decided to get herself out of the sticky situation by putting herself in quite literally another sticky situation and having a 38-minute dick appointment. Standard. Can you just imagine if these were true stories though, and these actually happened and they weren't all scripted? It'd be amazing. But anyway, let's progress a little bit further down. So as we can see, episode 2, it features someone called Claudia Macro. She's 24. She's a cosmetic seller, and judging by her pictures, she's bought quite a lot of that herself. Her loan amount is $5,000, and the reason? For a fucking wedding. And now, this is just amazing. She's 3 months overdue, but the picture is just amazing. I mean, just look at that guy's expression. I don't know what kind of facial expression that is, but I never want to be pulling it myself. If you cover up half of this picture, it looks like he's looking had a baby coming out of his wife's fanny and not some guy's giant penis. But anyway, let's move on. So episode 3, we've got Rose Wild, another wild name. She's 21, she's a waitress, and she's nearly $2,000 in debt. And the reason for it is, and I quote, purchase of huge ass TV. Well, would you look at this? We got a huge ass TV that hasn't been paid yet. Now, the best thing about this episode is the description. Listen to this. Finally, I tracked this ginger bitch down. She was hiding in an apartment on the outskirts of town. Rhymes. I was the only one able to find her. Now I'm going to quickly cut that one off and just say, that sounds awfully Anne Frank-like so far. You know, it really wouldn't surprise me at this point if it went on to say that they found her hiding in the attic. And, you know, they could have gone full, like, Anne Frank mode. I mean, admittedly, there would have been a lot of criticism, but they could have mentioned something about the debt collector finding a diary on the floor, and in the diary it says something like, oh, I hope the debt collector never finds me. I've heard they have massive 15-inch cocks. But we obviously know how this one's going to pan out. A few minutes later, she's sucking him off. Standard. But it actually says in the description that she's a massive Game of Thrones fan, which is quite ironic because this storyline is a lot better than the last season of Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, before I forget, under each episode it says collected. Now, I'm not sure what you're collecting, mate, other than STDs, but you're definitely not picking any kind of payment up. I mean, there's no blowjob in the world that can equate to $2,000. We've got episode 5, Alice Clay, she's 21, her employment status is jobless, which is relatable content. The loan amount is $4,000 and the purchase of loan is purchase Apple gadgets. Now it's clear from the start that she was clearly fucked the second she bought the Apple gadget, seeing as they do fuck you over. And then to top it off, she gets some throbbing debt collector's cock as well. This fine young lady is in some serious trouble right now. She wanted a loan, $4,000 for the new smartphone and laptop, but she forgot to pay the interest. Well, it's a lucky day. A noble gentleman such as myself will never smash her fingers with a hammer or anything like. What I'll have her do instead is wrap those pretty fingers around my cock. Who fucking wrote this? Shakespeare. Although he does seem like a traditional kind of nice guy with some of the things that he says. This little ginger bitch. You know, stuff like that. Like, it just sounds very kind of aggressive. But then again, it is fucking porn. I'm not really expecting Romeo and Juliet. Or as golden as this website looks, I won't be purchasing a membership. Purely because of the fact if I fall behind on payments, I don't want some bald fucker knocking on my door and shagging me up the arse. But yeah, the dustbin men are outside the house making a fucking load of racket right now, so I'm going to cut this off it. I'll probably make another one on this, but any suggestions or anything, greatly appreciated. Any feedback, greatly appreciated. But take care, thanks for watching.